small groups, and here we go, starting in 5th place High Point. 5th place High Point teen group. That award goes to Smile from Canadian Dance Company. And we have a 4-way tie for 4th place High Point and our first routine in 4th. Give it up for On This Side of Chaos from Project 21. 4th place High Point teen group also goes to Melee from Stars Dance Studio. 4th place High Point will also go to Is This Seat Taken from Vlad's Dance Company. And rounding out 4th place High Point for our teen groups, that's going to go to Heaven Is Here from Evolved Dance Complex. And that takes us to our top 3. So starting in 3rd place High Point for our teen groups and a $50 cash prize, that's going to go to Right Here Is Where I'll Meet You from Vlad's Dance Company. 2nd place High Point teen group, that award goes to an $100 cash prize, My Apocalypse from Stars Dance Studio. Which means your highest scoring teen group in 1st and a $200 cash prize goes to Carried by the Sound from the 9 Dance Academy. Those are your top 5 teen groups. All right, moving on to our Performance Division Awards. We're going to start with the highest scoring teen small group ballet, starting in 2nd place High Point with a $100 voucher. That award goes to the Royal Mile from Dance Spectrum. Highest scoring teen small group ballet with a $200 voucher going to Beyond the Bar from Westchester Dance Academy. Moving on to our top 5 teen contemporary. 5th place High Point teen small group contemporary goes to Between Time from Jean Lee Academy of Dance. 2 routines in 4th. Our first routine in 4th is Subject to Liminal Space from Performing Dance Arts. 4th place High Point will also go to Dissolve Space from Evolved Dance Complex. And for your top 3, we have 3 routines in 3rd place High Point. 3rd place High Point receives a $50 voucher. That goes to On This Side of Chaos from Project 21. 3rd place High Point also goes to Melee from Stars Dance Studio. And 3rd place High Point also goes to Heaven Is Here from Evolved Dance Complex. 2nd place High Point teen small group contemporary. That award goes to Right Here's Where I'll Meet You from Vlad's Dance Company. And your highest scoring teen small group in 1st, that award goes to Carried by the Sound from the 9 Dance Academy. For teen small groups, teen small group hip hop, we have a top 3. 3rd place High Point, teen small group hip hop, that award goes to So Gone from No Boundaries Dance Company. 2nd place High Point goes to Team from Studio Innova Dance. And your highest scoring teen small group hip hop in 1st goes to New Flame from Charlotte Performing Arts Academy. Those are your top 3 hip hop. All right, moving on to our jazz. Top 5, 5th place High Point, teen small group jazz goes to Come Fly With Me from Echo to Dance Louise. 4th place High Point award goes to Why Don't You Do Right from G-Force Dance Company. And for your top 3, 3rd place High Point jazz goes to 100% Pure Love from Charlotte Performing Arts Academy. 2nd place High Point jazz, give it up for Jumpin' from the Southern Strut. Which means your highest scoring teen small group jazz in 1st goes to Express Yourself from Spotlight Dance Studio. Those are your top 5 jazz routines. All right, top 5, lyrical in 5th place High Point. That's going to go to In the Kitchen from Studio 412. 4th place High Point lyrical. That award goes to Cellophane from the True Dance and Company. Top 3, 3rd place High Point lyrical goes to Between These Hands from True Dance and Company. And we have 2 routines in 2nd place High Point. Our first routine in 2nd is Repeat Until Lost from Westchester Dance Academy. 2nd place High Point lyrical also goes to I Dreamed a Dream from Rockstar Academy of Dance. And your highest scoring lyrical in 1st, give it up for My Apocalypse from Stars Dance Studio. All right, moving on to musical theater. Starting in 4th place High Point, that award goes to Business of Love from Inspiration Dance Academy. 3rd place High Point musical theater goes to Oklahoma from the Studio Project. And we have 2 routines in 2nd place High Point. Our first routine in 2nd is The Jitters from the Vision Dance Alliance. 2nd place High Point award also goes to Hey Pachuco from Artistic Edge Dance Center. And your highest scoring musical theater routine in first goes to Smile from Canadian Dance Company. All right, moving on to specialty top 5. 5th place high point. Specialty routine goes to Not With a Bang But a Whimper from Echo de Dance Louise. 4th place high point goes to Beauty from Evolve Dance Complex. And for our top 3, 3rd place high point goes to Guess Who's Back from Evolve Dance Complex. 2nd place high point specialty goes to Take 10 from Elite Dance Works. And your highest scoring specialty routine in first goes to Is This Seat Taken from Vlad's Dance Company. All right, moving on to tap. Starting in 5th place high point. 5th place high point goes to Castaway from Echo de Dance Louise. 4th place high point goes to Bites the Dust from West Florida Dance Company. 3rd place high point tap goes to Skate from Legacy Center for the Arts. 2nd place high point goes to Break My Soul from North Point Dance Academy. And we have 2 routines in 1st place high point. For tap in 1st place, give it up for The Face I Love from Woodbury Dance Center. And also high scoring tap going to Denim Jacket from the Southern Strut. And we're gonna wrap it up with our acro category in 1st place high point. That award goes to Villains from My Place. All right, it's time to announce the top 5 routines that will be recompeting in our closing show. These are our nominees, and in no particular order, we do have 5. Up first, recompeting in our closing show, our first nominee. Best Performance Teen Division Small Group goes to On This Side of Chaos from Project 21. Also, a nominee from Evolve Dance Complex, Heaven is Here. Excuse me, Evolve Dance Complex, sorry guys. And our next routine competing in the show is Right Here Is Where I'll Meet You from Vlad's Dance Company. Also competing in the closing show is My Apocalypse from Stars Dance Studio. And rounding out, our 5th nominee, recompeting in the closing show, goes to Carried by the Sound from the 9 Dance Academy, and that is a wrap for our teen small groups here in stage 2. Give it up all one more time for all of our teen dancers. Great job.